Get ready to see some tips and tricks that you've never seen before. I've been looking up some tip videos recently for inspiration and noticed most of them are kinda the same. Just build LOL, get high ground LOL, like and subscribe to OmniPie LOL. I can keep going on, but I'm sure you've heard it all by now. That's why I made this video to give you guys some of the secret tips and tricks that people aren't talking about, so you have an edge on your enemy in Fortnite Battle Royale. My favorite tip is number 6, which has made moving through the map a breeze for me. I'm also doing a 2800 V-Bucks giveaway. All you have to do to enter is like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications for a chance at 2800 V-Bucks. Now, let's show you those secret tips. When the stink bomb first came out, I thought this would be super obvious. Epic Games gave us a bomb that does AoE damage and can ignore walls, unlike most of the other bombs in the game. So using it like a normal grenade by throwing it at the enemy and hoping it would just explode at their feet and killing them instantly doesn't really make sense. All they have to do is move out of it. I mean, sure, they'll take 10-20 damage or something, but that's not really the best use of Stink Bomb. And yet, that's pretty much all anyone has been using it for lately. What I suggest you do with these stinkers is pressure the enemy to the point where they have to box themselves into a 1-by-1. This happens in a lot of fights, and it's really hard to get through it. If you try to break down one of the walls of the box, the enemy would just turbo rebuild it again, and you'd just be wasting bullets. That's where the stink bomb comes in. If you have one of these bad boys, just throw it at the box, make sure it's either on the other side or just the middle is fine. That way they take more damage if they try to move away from you. Then you start shooting down their wall right away. They're either gonna have to rebuild to stop your bullets while taking the gas damage, or spend their time trying to edit their way out of the gas while taking your bullets. Either way, they're going to be taking a lot of damage. So the next time you see an enemy in a box and you got a stink bomb, don't be afraid to bust it out. That's where it really shines. Sometimes you need to jump really far really quickly, and a bouncer trap against a wall on the first floor just doesn't cut it. You could build up 3 floors and then use a bouncer trap, but that'll cost you some precious time that might let the enemy run away, catch up to you, or maybe even the storm to knock you out. In cases like those, all you gotta do is drop a bouncer trap on the ground, then look behind you and start building walls, and when you're up high enough, go ahead and place a bouncer trap on the wall to get you closer to where you need to go very quickly. Bouncer traps also comes in a pack of 3, so you can afford to do this every now and then. But it does cost 2 traps to do this, so be careful not to use it just to jump where there's no reason to. When it can get you a kill or help you survive though, then you know what to do. Another great way to use bouncer traps that pretty much no one seems to be using is to use it to build an almost instant 1-by-1, except it's actually just one side and a floor on top to stand on. To do this, you start off the same as last trick, by placing a bouncer trap on the floor. Then build walls as you're jumping up and finish it by building a platform below you. In this clip, doing this helped me spot someone and gave me a very nice kill still. And I also kinda comboed this with the last tip, because I did start off with a floor bouncer trap into a wall bouncer trap. So these 2 tips goes together very nicely to make you become the king of the skies. If you played a decent amount of Fortnite, then chances are you felt the pain of having to cross Loot Lake when the storm is about to catch up to you, or it's already on you, making that annoying storm sound that it always does, thinking it's being cute. The fastest possible way for you to get out of that is to cross Loot Lake. Oh god, I'm getting PTSD. Make it stop. When that's happening, you pretty much have to use your precious materials to make floors so you can run across to safety. Or do you? I actually only found this out recently. If I'd known sooner, I'd survive so much more games. But you can actually, instead of building floors, just build a ramp. I know, that sounds kinda weird because in Loot Lake, ramps tend to be just a stepping stone. But that's what you want. After you step on the stepping stone, you basically get 2 more normal jumps. So from there, you jump into the water once, then build another ramp ahead of you, jump onto that ramp, and you just repeat the process. I know, it's a bit hard to believe, so I'll give you a side-by-side comparison of the 2, and you can judge for yourself. If you use this trick to get you across Loot Lake, you'll be able to save a lot more materials that you really need, especially with all the nerf happening to it lately. Make sure you get high ground, it gives you a big advantage. Okay, next tip. Nah, I'm kidding. We all know how important high ground is in this game by now. Just watch any beginner guide and they'll tell you over and over again. What I want to show you is this great technique to build up really fast that I've actually never seen anyone even use before. But it's really good, and best of all, anyone could do it with just a little bit of practice. Alright, so check this out. First, you want to look straight down. Build a ramp. Then jump to the higher end of the ramp. Jump turn around while building a floor into a ramp. And you just repeat the process. It might be a bit hard at first, but there's really not that much to it. It just boils down to jumping into floor and ramp. Let's compare it to a normal 1x1. So here's what a normal 1x1 looks like when you do it pretty fast. I can get to 4 floors in about 5 seconds like this. Now, here's how fast it is with the floor into ramp only method. This one only took me about 3 seconds to do, which is almost twice as fast as 5 seconds. So in a normal fight, you can do this to get 2 levels above your enemy and then just start shooting them. It's pretty common knowledge that if you jump on a jump pad with the power of hop rocks being activated, you'll be able to jump way higher than you would on the jump pad without hop rocks. But hop rocks aren't available everywhere anymore, so this can be a bit hard to do, unless you have a bouncer trap, that is. But you can't just jump on top of the bouncer trap into the launch pad, or else the effect wears off when you hit the jump pad. The trick here is to build a 1x1 with the side next to the jump pad being an arch, like this, by editing a triangle at the bottom of the wall. Then you place a bouncer trap down and walk into it. The arch will push you down into the launch pad and you're gonna go super high up into the sky, like Superman. This trick helped me win this game big time. I was able to get into the safe zone, fly across a huge mountain, spotted someone in a big base, invade them really fast, and destroy them for a nice gold scar and grenade launcher. I probably couldn't even get past the first mountain if I didn't use the bouncer trap before the launch pad. So this is by no means a new thing. You could have always done this ever since spike traps were a thing, but no one really did it except pros when they're facing noobs and would spend a whole minute trying to trap them because, you know, spike traps would always take time to activate, especially when they had to wait until your walls were done building first. But Epic Games thought it would be fun to mess with spike traps a little bit. Now they activate way faster than before, and they don't even care if you place it on a building that's not finished. So a lot of pros have actually started trying to trap other good players in the middle of fights, and not just against noobs either because of how good it is. So go ahead and start just placing down spike traps when the enemy's invading your 1x1, or if you can build around them somehow. They are deadly these days. Sometimes you build up really high and then use floors to run somewhere, but an enemy starts to shoot at your floors, but you have nowhere to jump down to without getting hurt. In times like these, the best thing to do would be using a bouncer trap, but that's not always available. So the next best thing you can do is turn your ramps into backward ramps, so they can take you down. But that's a hassle to do because you'd have to remember to change it back, and sometimes you can mess up and press the rotate button one time too much, fall to your death, and then you start crying over your decisions in life that led you to this exact moment. Oh, or is that just me? But all of this can be solved if you just turn your pyramids into a backward ramp. For this, all you have to do is go into build mode, select your pyramid option, press edit on it, and I want to be clear here. Edit while you're in build mode. Don't edit a piece you already built. Then you just select the first 2 squares to turn it into a backwards ramp, and then you confirm the edit. For me, it's the cheat button, and you're done. At least for the entire game. During the game you do this in, every time you choose pyramid, you will get a backward ramp. So now instead of rotating your ramps multiple times, you just have to use pyramids for a backward ramp. This trick is for all the times when you really don't want to fight this one guy that keeps shooting you when you need to run somewhere. Like, for example, the storm is coming, a guy from the side starts sniping at you, but you can't just build up and sit in the storm. In the past, I would always run forward, jump, and then build walls to the side before I start moving forward again. This slowed me down a bit and made me use a lot of mats to cover myself. But now I found a better way, and that's to rotate your ramp to the side that you're being shot at in building mode, and then just turbo build the ramps. It blocks the enemy off completely, and all you have to do is keep running straight forward like they're not even there. If you ever lose high ground against your opponent and can't get it back, don't worry, Fortnite's got your back. All you have to do is box yourself in, and as a little bonus, you can build a pyramid piece through your ceiling. That way, your ceiling can build to full health, while your pyramid protects it over and over again. So you're guaranteed to not take any damage, even though they have the high ground. I actually kind of feel like this shouldn't be a thing, because I get a bit disappointed when I get high ground, and the enemy just does it, and I'm just sitting there like, well, I guess me going all the way up here was pointless? Luckily, most people still haven't caught on to this yet, so it hasn't happened too much. Let's just hope it stays that way. Those are the tips that I'm pretty sure most people don't know about. Tell me in the comments section how many of them you didn't know about, and maybe share some secrets with the rest of us. Remember to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next video.